I literally lost everything. I lost my identity. I lost people I love. I don't know who I am. I don't know what to do. You just go and you know that you're gonna deliver. And that's basically my approach in life. Sometimes you really need to lose everything to find yourself. I wanna make sure that as he look down at me and he say like, I'm proud of you.
Welcome to the Untold Conversations, raw and real. This is the podcast where we go beyond the perfect picture into the stories that truly shape us. I'm your host, Margarita Alex, and today in the studio, I have an amazing guest who is successful, beautiful, inspiring, Miss Nihal El Makdat. She's a global business leader, entrepreneur with 18 years of experience across top FMCG companies, and also a founder and the CEO of Hammam company, which is products and snacking for babies and kids. So Nihal, welcome to the podcast. I know you've led global supply chain operations for more than 2 decades, which is already remarkable, and I'm starting to have my goosebumps. Now you're building your own company. So today you are successful, today you are beautiful, today you are inspiring. But I would like to go a little bit behind that perfect picture and hear some personal stories, something that shaped you to be an amazing person that you are today. So who you are behind that title?
First, hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I think also being real and talking about the image that you already described is important. Who am I? I think I'm just a woman who is curious about life, who love life, who try to, to discover things every day, try to build things. In a simple way, I just love my family, my friends. I have a lot of hobbies, and I'm just super curious about what life can bring. And this is where, basically, I try everything, and I try to do a lot of things, and walk my life in a way that is colorful, happy, joyful, and also trying to build something useful for this life.
Thank you for sharing. So I see you are definitely a curious person. So where does it come from, this curiosity? Does it come from the childhood? Is there anything from your early stages in life that brought you this curiosity into your blood, body, and mind and soul?
Yeah. I think curiosity, it can be a great skill for you, and at the same time, it can open your mind to discover a lot of things. From a family, I'm a middle child, so I don't know, this is something related to that, but basically as a middle child, you always try to understand how your parents, for example, treat your eldest sibling and how they treat your youngest sibling, and at the same time, you're curious to discover yourself in between. At the same time, you need to learn a lot of negotiation skills, which makes you more curious to know what to say, how to say it, how to ask for what you want, how to...
As a middle child.
As a middle child.
Oh, okay. Because, I am an only child. So for me, everything is very different. Okay. I had to learn how to navigate the negotiation with my parents in a different way. But now that you mention it, it does really make sense, because I assume that the way you communicate with your elder siblings and the ones who are younger than you is different.
Definitely, and especially that we have a couple of years gaps, so we have 5 and 6 years gaps. So in between, as you grow up, you get if let's say I'm 8 years old and I need to deal with a 2 or 3 years old baby, and at the same time with a teenager. So you try to shape, you shape those skills early on in your home.
Wow, so lucky of you.
Yes, sometimes.
So what would you say was the biggest lesson that you've learned from this interesting family dynamics and communication?
If you don't speak up, you'll not get your piece of the pie. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, you have to ask for what you want.
Wow, again, I have goosebumps. I think this is a big lesson for a lot of ladies. Yeah, I'm thinking about me, I'm just thinking in retrospective, and there is, I always got, because everything was for me, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now I have like a little of a silence in my head. Like, wow. But I believe that is. From our conversation previous to the recording, now I can see where things come from, because you are definitely someone who has no shame, and no doubts about approaching and talking and having a conversation. So I believe that is a great dynamics that you will learn from, from the past and from your family, that a lot of us have to learn through life. And adult life, because when you're a kid, things, yes, they can get a bit more emotional, but you don't have that many thoughts in your brain like, oh, now I have to go, but I'm already an adult, I am ashamed, but I shouldn't be ashamed because I am an adult. So all these processes, when you are a kid, it's like when you are learning skiing or skating, you go with the flow. So I believe that is a skill that I'm definitely jealous of you, that you learned when you were a kid. But okay, let's go on. So every leader goes through a stage that really shapes the person. Like I went through this stage of reshaping in my life, and seeing your journey, and your journey is very long.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that you look very young, I'm thinking 2 decades. I'm like, 2 decades is 20 years. Like,
Probably
let me recalculate. But it is remarkable that what do you feel shaped you as a leader? What circumstances in your life, or what situation?
I think a lot of things definitely started with me, even from my home, from my family, from my education, and the way that I was perseverance, and the way that I'm super dedicated, and I really wanted to be successful at a very young age. The first thing was, when you start your job and you start to work, the thing that you learn is work hard, and that's basically what's the first thing that you will do. So as you move forward throughout your journey, you start learning that working hard is perfect, but it's not enough. There's a lot of skills that needs to shape you. There's a lot of leadership skills that you need to understand and to go and start shaping as you move forward. So I would say in my early career, working hard was number one of what really helped me to achieve results. And then I started shaping my skills as a leader. And leadership for me, it was not about only, delivering the results, which is something I'm known with, because if you give me something, rest assured that I will deliver it. How? I don't know, but I will deliver it. And that's basically helped my career journey. But as I moved, I met a lot of mentors, and I met a lot of people that really saw my strengths before even I saw it in myself. And they helped me to shape it and, to go through the journey step by step. So there's a lot of learnings that shaped me. But I would say one of the biggest first advice that I got, because when you get and you start working hard and you follow the process and you just want to deliver results and all of this. So a mentor told me, if you want to be a leader, lead people, not process.
Wow.
And this was okay, makes sense, because this is what we learned, like fresh grad joining a multinational company, we just want to deliver. And this sticks with me. And this is when I started really shaping my leadership skills across not only, the performance metrics that we need to deliver and the results that we need to deliver, but also from people leadership as well.
I can totally relate to that, because what I see, I coach executives, right? And what I see is that they keep forgetting that the biggest asset they have in their company is people.
True.
Same person, guided in the most efficient way, can deliver you results that you would never even dream about.
True.
Whether the same person, if you push too much, if you keep the type of tasks that are not according to, let's say, psychotype or energy or beliefs or values, then this person would make a disaster. So when you say that leading is about leading people, that's so interesting. And I told you this in our call, that you seem to be not only a good leader, but also a good mentor. And what I also saw in my experience is that some people are good mentors because they are sharing their experience with you and advising you. However, they have troubles into leading you. And then some leaders are amazing in leading you. However, they are not as good leaders. So you not only combine beauty and smartness, but you also combine the good leader and a good mentor. So how does this happen in one person?
I don't know.
Tell your secret.
I think it's a gift. Look, honestly, like there's a lot of leadership tests that you do, and there's a lot of I think that it talks about your personality and it talks about how you shape. And I did a lot of that. I'm not gonna talk about them, whether the Myers-Briggs, where you talk about as me being feeling or thinking or all of this. But I think at an early stage when you learn empathy, is when you start basically not only being present in your life, but also with your job, with your family, with your friends, with everything around you. And I think empathy, I wouldn't say an acquired skill, but something that you definitely can acquire and definitely can start feeling, because we are human beings that the first thing that God created in us was our heart. And this is where our heartbeat is the first thing that we know that there is a soul, that there is someone. When we stop using it and let it really help us to lead, this is when I think we lose an edge. Being critical is amazing. Being strategic is amazing. Your mind can take over sometimes. But when your mind and heart are not aligned, this is when I think most of the failures happens. So as you move forward, you start learning how to really trust your feelings, trust your empathy, and look at the people. Because at the end of the day, whatever we deliver, whatever numbers we deliver, whatever success we deliver, people will only remember really what kind of impact we made them feel, how we made them feel seen, heard, and how we helped them to rise as well as we move into the journey. So I think it's just something probably I have innate in me, but I kind of cultivated through a lot of, incidents. I'll tell you this story, and actually this is
Let's start with the stories.
It reminded me of this story. When in my early career, when I moved from being an individual contributor to a line manager, you start leading people, and this is when you just want to make sure that you are proving yourself in a way, that you are a good manager, you're delivering the results expected out of your department and all of this. And I used to work in operation. Supply chain is not an easy, easy kind of field. And also there's a lot of operations. So I was managing the operations for the region. And during operation, that we don't take breaks. So even if there is holidays, so the operation needs to continue. So it's like 24/7 operation.
Yeah.
And within that time, when I had to put like a schedule for my team, I used to put like a rooster. So who takes this holiday break? The next holiday break, you will be on break. This person will be like, backing you up, and like a kind of a plan that I put for my team. And I kind of sign it off with them. We all agree on it, and everything is already, the schedule is ready. And then in one of our weekly operation meetings, so I was just reviewing with my team saying, okay, so this is the rooster. So X, you're going to be present on this day. Y, you're going to be present on this day. And you guys, you're taking the holiday next day. So after the meeting, one team member approached me. And she asked me, like, can I not be present during this holiday? Like, I don't want to. And I don't want to work. I want to take it as a break. So I looked at my notes and I said, yeah, but you already took the last one. And I think it's only fair that someone else from the team take this one. And she said, yeah, but I really want to take this as a break. I said, like, why? Do you have something important or urgent? She said, no, but I need it. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot. I want to be fair with you and the rest of the team. And then she said, okay, she didn't really, push for it. It was like a brief conversation. And then she went. And after like 2 to 3 weeks, she came, actually, she showed up for work. She did her job and everything. And after almost 3-4 weeks more or less. We have another break coming across.
Okay.
As well. So I was putting the rules and I was saying, okay, so you'll take this day, but the other day another person will take it. And then someone from my team came to me and said, Nihal, please, can I work for both days instead of her? And I said,
strange,
why?
no?
That's strange. What's happening? Like, I don't mind, but you guys, I just want to make sure that you all get like a proper, like for your well-being, you get all the holidays needed. Like the rooster helps us to have like, this balance between our job and well-being. And she said, okay, I'm going to tell you something because she doesn't want to say it. I said, what? She said, her father is in the hospital, stage 4 cancer, and he's dying. Yes, I still get this impact every time I talk about this story.
Oh,
And
God.
I was like, oh my God, like I didn't know. And she didn't even mention it.
Yeah,
She said, like,
why?
she didn't want, she didn't want to get this kind of empathy or sympathy just because she's passing.
Pity. She didn't want people
Exactly.
to feel pity for her.
And it's like, it doesn't matter. Like the lesson here first, like, yes, we all go through phases of life. First, like I really admired her that she didn't want to impact her job and she's like determined to deliver the results and she didn't want us to help us. But the lesson was for me. Being fair is great. I'm doing my job as a manager. But being really understanding, knowing what's happening in my team's life. And it's not about fairness anymore. It's about really giving each one what they need, the time they needed. And I think this story always because I was shocked, like how come I didn't know like one of my team member, like she's passing through this kind of phase.
Yeah.
And this also helped me to start, this individualization connection with my team and to try to be part of their life and understanding what's happening. So as well, I can help them not only at their work, but also in their personal life.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that story. You are absolutely right. Like, sometimes fair, as you say, it's not equal.
True.
And then if we go to to spirituality, about even the karma thing, when good karma comes to you, it comes into the way that you need it, not necessarily what the neighbor has, right? So that's very spiritual and it's a very beautiful approach. And now I truly understand what it makes you a good leader and a good mentor. And I believe a lot of our listeners can learn from you in this type of approach. Somebody would say, no, but individuality is not good because then if I give a tea to this guy, then the next guy will come and ask for the same. But again, if you're navigating individually with each of them,
Exactly.
the fact that your leader comes and asks you, what do you need to perform? What do you need to rest? What support do you need to be the best of you? Then everything else starts to be behind and it's completely irrelevant, right? So wow, that's amazing skills. What about risks? I know that from my personal journey, if you don't jump, sometimes you don't get far away. If we are doing baby steps are amazing in strategy, but sometimes we really need to jump. We really need to take the risks that other people don't have the courage to take. And that, from my conversations with leaders, that's what makes a difference. So how about risks with you? What's your opinion on them?
I would say risk is part of who I am since I was young as well. So taking risk is something, like sometimes you don't take the risk because you're afraid of the results and you're afraid of the outcome and you don't know what will happen. When you say burn the boats, you just go and you know that you're going to deliver. And that's basically my approach in life. So when you go and you're going to an island and you want to conquer this island, if you have the boat, then at the first challenge, you're going to take the boat and leave. But if you don't have a way other than being in that island, you burn your boat and you make it happen. And this is my approach for risks. Yes, there's a lot of risks. I'm not saying like you go and throw yourself into the fire, but I'm someone who will raise her hand and will not be afraid of to say that, okay, I can take this role, I can take this job, I can probably try and see what will come out of that. Because risks shape your I would say, your mind to think differently. And I'm a problem solver. I'm Lebanese. So we come from a country where we always have a problem each and every day, and we need to be resilient, and we need to find a solution for each and every problem. So it's an innate thing that we have. And also crisis, per se, I thrives on them. Because it makes me like, when you have something that operates at, I don't know, like 200 per second, I don't know, like my mind starts operating 2000 per second, just trying to find solutions. So I know like a lot of people try to play it safe, but why? Why are we here at the end of the day? If we're not taking the risks, if we're not really putting ourselves there. We should be like, I always say a word is in Arabic, like Allah bidabbir, like mean God will take care of it. So just go on, God will take care of it. And sometimes people was like, but maybe God, he don't even know that this exists. I was like, no, he knows. So just go. So I'm a risk taker. I'm courageous. I have a courageous managerial courage that usually I take projects that other people will not probably raise their hands to take it. I do things that probably people will more or less be afraid to, to step into. And I believe risks leaves great stories in your legacy as well.
Yeah, and a lot of resilience.
A lot of resilience.
Builds a lot of resilience. So I moved country 4 times, right? This is my 4th migration. Wow. So my first migration was when I was 10, and then my last migration was when I was 27. And I remember when my family wanted to move from Ukraine, that was the early 2000s, into Spain, everybody would say, what are you doing? Like, you guys have amazing degrees, amazing job opportunities. You want to have a job, it's okay. You want to be an entrepreneur, it's okay. Our family has networking, has power. Whatever you need, you have it. Like, why on earth would you go somewhere where you don't even know the language and the culture is so different? It turned out not to be that different, to be honest. Now, when I say, Ukrainian people and Spanish people are very similar, but we took that courage and we had to go through a lot of things. Like, for example, my parents' diplomas, like a high degree university, they were not recognized in Spain. So my mom is 56. She's studying until today.
Wow, that's
because
impressive.
She said, I have 2 degrees of university. I am a smart woman. I was working, I was offered to work in the central bank. I was working for the government. They will not come and tell me that I am less. And I will prove until today that I can do and I can study and I have enough intellect to do such thing. And then I had to learn 2 languages at the same time and integrate in school. And then when I moved to Dubai, I was 27, people were saying like, why do you need to do that? Like, it's so risky. It's 2021, it's in the middle of COVID. You have your house, you have your friends, you have everything settled in Barcelona. Even when I was living in the UK, like, why would you take that risk? I said, because I am looking for a better life. And not, as you said, not everyone is able to take that risk. Sure. But the risk brings an outcome, sometimes a very pessimist outcome. But once you're low and you have that courage, you are rising up so fast because you have no desire to step that low. So I said, these risks, I built resilience with this. I am becoming better. I am becoming more courageous, smarter. My mind expands. And as you said, instead of 200 per second, we are working on 2000 per second. And you are expanding your mental capacity.
Exactly.
Your networking capacity, right?
True.
So the way that I feel like we are like travelers and warriors through life and space, that we make our lives incredible. And even like how you and me connected, there was something in the air that said, she's the type of person that I would understand myself with. We look completely different. We speak different languages. We come from different countries, but we have some patterns either in history or in culture or in countries, like your country constantly in the war, my country constantly in the war for last 10 years, right? So there is like certain patterns. And if both of us made it here to Dubai and we are both successful in this place that is easy but also complicated. That
Yes.
means that something we must have done correctly,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So there is a question that I ask all my guests, and I am the one also to join you in this one, is that what are you grateful for today? And I'll start with myself because I feel like we rise into the peak of emotions. So I am thankful to all the difficult moments that life put on my path, and thankful to my personality, my heart, and my soul that did not give up and that continued forward, believing that I will have there is a brighter space and a peace for me. So I'm thankful to the universe to see how much courage I have. Universe, God, you can call it whatever you want, because he saw that in me.
Yeah.
And whenever he put that in there, he said, you can do it. You just need to believe that you can do it, because that problem there is there for a reason, you know. So I believe you can do it, so you have to believe you can do it. So I'm thankful for all these stones on my path and that courage that I always have in my soul to remove them and to continue to my beautiful, peaceful space. Now,
That's amazing.
I will give it your turn for gratitude.
Actually, I'm grateful for a lot of things, but definitely the moment that I open my eyes every day, I'm grateful for that moment in particular, that we have another opportunity to be alive. And I know a lot of people we lose while they're asleep. So that's the first thing that I'm usually grateful for each and every day. Also, I'm grateful that I have this, I would say it, willingness for life, the passion for life. Understanding that, yes, life challenges are just lessons. And I believe that my soul came here to upgrade itself. Like, whether some people, they don't believe, but I believe like our soul doesn't end when our body dies again. And I believe they are in a journey to, to upgrade themselves. And every lesson that we put in this life, it's another upgrade for the soul. So I'm grateful for me not giving up. Every time unfortunately, life knocked me down. I'm grateful that I always, when I'm knocked down, and actually that's what my tattoo is all about, it probably gave me the best place to pray. So connecting, believing, making sure that I'm protected, seen, heard, it's what keeps me going each and every day.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So now I would like to go into a very interesting fact that I know about you that I believe it's impactful and worth sharing, is that first of all, you're the youngest, and correct me, the youngest manager, right, in your field. You were the youngest manager in your field, and also the youngest female top manager in your field. And important point here is that you came from public schooling and public universities in Lebanon. And I believe for our listeners, those who don't know, the majority of top managers and top executives that Nihal is surrounded by all came from private schooling, private universities. Somehow she made her way onto the top of the mountain, and also being the youngest one from public schooling. So how do you feel that fact impacted your perception of yourself and the perception that other people have about you?
Yeah. So I was the youngest female director in supply chain.
Oh, pardon my ignorance. It's not even manager, it's director.
So funny enough, like, I know that the schooling and everyone think that you need to earn, or when you earn success, it's through privilege, but it's not always true. Mm-hmm. And another story that actually happened with me in one of our alumni gathering. So basically, I got my university degree from the Lebanese University, which is a public school back home. And in my country, there's more or less two, I would say, private schools that most of the people, they graduate from, and they have the privilege to get into a different kind of community, different kind of companies. So After I got my master's as well, I enrolled in MBA program in NCEAD, but then I dropped it after my dad passed away, and I continued my PhD studies abroad. So I was in one of the alumni gathering that they invited basically a lot of people, and like any group of people talking, chatting. Everyone is giving a bit of an introduction about themselves, what they do in life, and all of this. So I introduced myself. I said, they asked me, what do you work? I said, I work as a director at this company XYZ. And then, like, funny, one of person said, "Look, oh, so which university you graduated? This or that?" I'm not gonna call them, but like AUB or LAU. That's how he said it. It's like, none. And he said, "Okay, so you studied abroad?" I said, "None." And he said, "Oh, come on, you're joking. So I don't
Tell
know.
me the
Tell
truth
me
now,
the truth now.
like-
Where did you study?" Like, I said, Lebanese University. And he was like, "Come on." I was like, "Lebanese University." He said, "Okay, so you got your BA from Lebanese University and you got your MBA from NCEAD." I said, "No, I dropped NCEAD as well. And I got my master's degree from the Lebanese University." And then I said, like, "I don't like, are you coming with someone?" I was like, "No." I said, like, "But you said you are a director at this company." I said, "Yes." And I said, "Why is it very difficult to comprehend?" He said, no, but like, honestly, I didn't see very successful people coming from the Lebanese University. I said, "Maybe you're not aware, but almost all my class, some of them really made it better than I did." And then I was like very furious and curious. I was like, I don't like this, stereotyping, and I don't like this part. And I looked at him and was like, "So which university you graduated from?" And he mentioned one of the universities. And I said, "Okay, and you get your MBA?" He said, "Yeah, London Business School." Because it was like alumni from different elite schools. I said, "Okay, like with this, like, yeah, London Business School." I said, "Okay, and you are a finance manager at this company?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Okay, so approximately, like, you kind of, your education costs you around like $200,000, more or less?" He said, "Yeah, approximately." And I said, "I think my education only cost me like $4,000. Since you're the finance manager, calculate the ROI." Cheers. And then I left. But actually, such things, sometimes this incident irritates me, and it got me furious about how people, unfortunately, see success through one lens, through one eye, and they don't really appreciate, a lot of people who really made it through life without probably getting the privilege or getting the network or getting, and a lot of people, probably for all our listeners, don't take one line of success. You can always make it. If God with you, if you really believe in yourself, and if you really want to put all the hours, all the hard work that it takes, you'll definitely will make it.
Yes. Applause for that. I share that.
Yeah, so
as
my
well.
ROI is
Yes, your ROI is very
much
high.
better.
It's very high. I believe also every background is different, right? So in Lebanon, the private universities are the best ones.
Yes.
In Spain, we have the opposite. In order to get into a good university, it has to be public university, and then once you finish your 12th grade, you need to do exams, and then the grade in this public universities, the grade to get in, it's actually higher than the private. However, for like MBAs and masters, it's the opposite, right? You would go to a private sector. But I do see the line how you are getting like ticked into a box based on where do we come from, or where do we study, and what do we do. Like, for instance, like one of the things that when I started coaching was really getting me angry is that before that I did event management for VIP clients in the Volkswagen Group in Barcelona, and then I did 12 years of professional modeling. So people, now 6 years later, I've built my reputation, I've done my studies, I've did everything. But in the first year or two, people were still not realizing how much effort did I put to change my career, first of all.
Yeah.
When you were 20, you can do that. When you're almost 30, that's a very difficult thing, because I had 12 years on my shoulders, and a lot of reputation, worked all around the world. Everything was fine for me. I did not have the need to start from scratch, right? So that is first thing that many people did not give me credit for. And I was so angry with them because I felt like they did not understand how much effort. And secondly, they would say, oh, they would like not respect me because of my previous job, because that was seen as a silly stereotype, pretty tall blonde girl being a model for 12 years, ha ha ha. And then when I would say people, yeah, but I am licensed in business and management from UPF, which is one of the top 5 young universities in Europe. They're like, oh, really? And I said, yeah, and I had my company for more than 6 years. Oh, okay, all right. So it's also gives me a bit of a honey to my heart to put like a patch on their mouth sometimes to say, oh, look, but I've achieved this, because you see how close the minds are when they say this. And when I was younger, I would put this patch here and there because I wanted to prove. Now I'm like, oh, you don't see what I have done? Well, I don't think we have anything to talk about, because you are aligned with your, for example, only privileged path or against privileged path, right? So many people would say, and this is my next question for you, like, oh, as a lady in the corporate world, you would get a lot of things just so simply delivered to you because you're a lady. And I would look exactly. What? And I would look like, what the hell on earth are you talking? Like, I believe it's the exact opposite.
It is.
So then my question for you, how do you see the corporate industry? I mean, you started 20 years ago. Now it's different. Also now you are super high. How do you see the evolution? Have we made any changes into the female top executive position?
Yeah. Actually, my PhD is about the women representation and advancement in the corporate world, especially after the new working policies after COVID, which is the hybrid and remote. But I think, in a way, what I think changed and what actually women, we are female leadership, and we don't want to be we don't want to lead as men. We want to lead as women. And we no longer want to lead in systems that were made are not fit for us. So they're not fit for us. They're a system made for mainly male/white male. So as a woman, we changed from really trying to fit into their system, trying to be, leading as they do, trying to be the powerful, the loudest, and we moved further to lead as a woman, lead by heart, lead by intuition, lead by softness, lead by empathy. And I think this what will definitely do the diversity between the leadership of male and female. Today, yes, we didn't do a lot of progress, I would say, when it comes to the systems, the processes, and the gaps that we have in the gender gap in corporate. But I think we as women evolved, and we started more understanding that if we really want to, to be as part of this seat, we need to take our seats, and we need to do it by being ourselves, by being true to ourselves, by really using the strengths that God gave us to lead. Because female leads, mothers lead the world, they lead the home, they lead even the male version of leaders, and they are the one who brought them up. So we need to believe in that, and this has basically helped me a lot to shape my leadership skills and the way I deal with things. So I just looked at me as a woman, what are the strengths that God gave me, and I started capitalizing on them, versus mainly trying to fit an image that it's not at the first place mine. And this is what changed, I would say, throughout. But yes, the system is not yet fit for females. We have a lot of stereotyping, we still have a lot of gaps, but I think the move is female leading and being woman. This definitely changed a lot of things.
Moving towards working on our strength, and you as a leader know that you work individually with each of your team persons, and then why wouldn't be we implementing the same system into the leaders. Like you need to give individuality to the leaders instead of being stuck in a system that is just cutting the wings. And I believe also for all the people, and we see the transition in the corporate world, for example, like companies like Google, they went, they changed, they gave like 180-degree approach to their people. They had these playrooms, they had a flexible schedule, and they saw that whenever you let people a bit of individuality and freedom, they will bring you the results. And I wish women would get inspired by what you just shared here with me, that we need to focus on strength, capitalize, monetize, and really put those strengths to work for us and for the companies, because the outcomes can be unimaginable.
Exactly.
Right? So we've spoke a lot about a lot of different things, but I know that your life also brought some sadness. And when we had our call, you told me that I lost everything, but I got my freedom back. So I would like you to share with me what freedom means for you. And then if you feel comfortable today, as I tell you, maybe we have our conversation yesterday, you were okay, but if you're comfortable today, to share with me what happened that made you share this statement. What happened then? First, starting with freedom. It's like a bridge question for us.
Okay, so basically, when we talk about freedom, we're talking about really putting all our fears on the side, not being attached or tangled through our limiting beliefs, through peoples that they put us down, through situations that we believe we cannot get out of. All of this is making you stuck. Mm-hmm. And even if we are in a free country and living in a freedom comes is how you can make sure that your soul is free. And to have this freedom, yes, you will definitely need to go through a process. And this process is about how can you really lift everything that was weighing you down. People, situations, memories, past beliefs, everything. When I said I lost everything, I literally lost everything. And I'm talking about not only the material loss, it was part of it, but I lost my identity. I lost people I love. I lost, I will not mention everything, but I lost a lot. And I just was, I don't know where to start. I don't know who I am. I don't know what to do. Literally, I was in a situation where I looked around and I felt like, okay, who am I? Why I'm here? What God wants from me? Why he doesn't take my soul now and just, why he doesn't end it? Why he wants me to continue? And the freedom is when you try to understand that you're here to deliver a message. And this message sometimes will take you left and right, hits you thousands of times, so you can find your path and you can find what you are here to deliver. And this is exactly what happened with me, because sometimes you really need to lose everything to find yourself.
Yeah.
And that was it for me.
I know I've been. I mean, I did not lose so many things as you did. And previously in our conversation, you mentioned that you lost your father. Thankfully, my parents are still here with me. But I believe when we touch that bottom part, there is like, we don't see clarity. We don't understand what's going on. We don't understand who are the people around us. And as you say, who I am and what am I doing here? I believe we need to come into the complete darkness sometimes in order to erase everything and start tracing from this feeling of emptiness, because whatever was there before today doesn't have a meaning anymore. No meaning, no value, no. nothing. Like you want to get rid of it, like take all your clothes, change into a new, and then make a new step without carrying anything from your past.
Exactly. And I think grief was heavy for me, and I was grieving everything that I lost. But the moment I realized that grief turned into gratitude, it's the moment where I understood that I only have me left. And this is where was the starting point.
Beautiful. And what because there is no ideal recipe on how to cope with grief. I think I've mentioned this in some of my previous episodes. This year, March 2025, one of my oldest friend passed away.
Sorry.
And she was very young. She was just 41, and she had so much to do, so many things to leave. And she was here in Dubai, and we have, friends, some family around, and everyone coped with it differently. And I feel like when we have grief, and grief can be for, as you say, for people, and sometimes for things that we lose, because for us, they're like part of our body, like you lose a leg, right? So there is no a recipe on how to cope with this. So my question for you would be, what one or two things helped you to go out from that situation, especially emotionally?
Yeah. I think if you ask me about something that I can tell you for sure, is that we're all gonna die. That's something, the only thing that I'm sure about in this life, I would say. And, it's not about death, because we're all gonna die. It's about, I don't know how to say it in English, losing someone that you love, which in Arabic it's called al-faqd. And when you know that, let's say today we're having this conversation, you told me at the very beginning, if you want us to record something, we can. I said, okay, we don't need to, but we know that you have a chance. You have a chance to correct your life. You have a chance to correct things with your loved people and your loved. But when someone pass away, when someone sorry, let me repeat. Let me repeat this part. Okay, so we're talking about, so death is the only thing that we know that is constant in life. And if you ask me, that's the only thing that we all know that's going to happen. For me, for you, for everyone in this world. But it's not about the death. It's about losing your loved ones. It's what we call in Arabic al-faqd, when you know that you already lost this person in your life. There's no more second chances. There's no more correcting the wrongs. There is no more, getting this support from this person. There is no more saying, I love you for the last time. Especially like I lost my dad, that was a sudden death, so I wasn't even prepared for it. And this guilt feeling that starts haunting you when you lose someone you love, sudden, that you feel like I didn't spend so much time with them. I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I did not have time to tell them how much I love them. I did not have time probably to be present in their life. So a lot of things comes to your mind, and the grief takes you even in darkness, especially that I lost my dad after, passing through 2-3 losses at the very beginning. And the last one was my dad, and it was like too heavy for me to carry. What helped me is it took me a lot of time, like more than a year through my grieving process. And here where I really seeked a professional help. So I seeked a psychologist help, where we would go and talk about the grief, and talk about how can I cope with grief, and how can I get myself, build myself again as well. Other than my faith with God and praying and, and all of this, which I did, a lot of breathing exercises and everything. But I think seeking a professional help helped me to go through my grieving process, because she showed me how can I honor the people I love, even when they're not present with us.
Okay.
And everything I do today, I do it so my dad can be proud of me. My PhD, I did it for him. I dropped my MBA and did my PhD because he always asked me, when are you going to do your PhD? Like, I was like top of my class since I was young. It was like, come on, you need to do your PhD. You cannot stop. And then I'm spending a lot of times an hour just, I want to make his wish come true to life. And that's why I went through it. I'm building my brand and I'm trying to be successful every day because I really want him to be proud of me. Probably I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of when he was alive, but I want to make sure that as he look down at me and he say like, I'm proud of you.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what helped me. Like,
tears,
the purpose.
We need to keep our makeup, girls. We need to look good on camera. Okay. Thank you so much for your honesty and for your becoming naked in your soul. That's we do appreciate that in this studio. Now let's talk about something that you mentioned, that you are also building your company as honor to your father. So after 20 years being in the corporate world, leading it, being successful, what is that took you to take that step, becoming an entrepreneur? And why babies, kids, snacking? So just share a bit more about this journey.
I think my dad was definitely an entrepreneur, and I think I got the skills from him as well. When you go into the corporate world, and I think when you start working from 9 to 5, most of the people, they always dream of really taking the step and building something for themselves. And since very long time, I always wanted to create something. You know, when you work in big companies, you definitely make a difference and you definitely add to the people's life. And I really wanted to do it, to make impact on people's life on a more intimate level, I would say, rather than just throughout this big companies. The story for me, sometimes, like if I look back and the way it happened and how I selected the baby product and healthy snacking for kids and how it happened and how I found this person who helped me at that and I found this person who helped me with that and I wasn't really able to understand why I got into this journey or in this segment in particular. And I know like I had a hardship through the motherhood journeys, my times, like through my ex-marriage or my ex-baby, and I don't call ex-baby, but I don't know what they call it. This part, let me try to say.
Yeah, let's recap
from here.
It, yeah.
So like, motherhood journey was a little bit a challenge for me. And I always like wondered like, God, why? You know, like those questions that we ask. And then I forget all about it. And then now when I was trying to connect the dots and when I feel like motherhood for me is something innate and I do it with the loved ones and I do it with my best friend's baby and, you know, and I feel like, no, that wasn't just coincidence that happened in my life. It was a true calling, a true purpose for me to serve motherhood and to empower moms through a different way than me being one. Maybe one day, I don't know, but until now. So the idea came that I really wanted to explore this path, and I saw that there's a lot of things like I'm a female leader, I work, and I know like working moms as well, they suffer and they have a lot of things. I wanted to create something that is clean, as if they made it at home, and that gives them the empowerment or a peace of mind so they can take care of something else. At least they care of themselves and their well-being and like how they can, you know, be present in life. That's how the journey started, basically. But if I want to go about the why and the how, my corporate job helped me definitely to go and to take the steps, because I learned the how from my career, and I learned how to do things, how to run operation, how to build brands, how to talk with suppliers, how to manufacture things, how to do quality tests, for example. So I learned all the how. But the why, I think it was my purpose through my grieving process, through me being on ground, where my purpose starting innate, and I was following all the, the signs until I got here, until I created Hammam as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. We had a guest with the baby over for this weekend, and we did order from noon. Remember, I was texting you, share the name with me. So they took it with them for the plane this morning. I hope they like it. I
Yeah, I hope so.
we tried it. It was very tasty.
Thank you.
So, when you started the creative process, when you started the first steps into building your company, how did your environment react? Did you feel love and support from everyone, or there were a bit of a skepticism, criticism, and lack of belief in your company and your mission?
Yeah, I think I got a lot of people who support me, but also a lot of people who were really skeptical about me doing it. Like you reach out to people and you share like I'm working on this project and you feel like why you're doing it. It's just a small brand. It's like you're already successful at your career. Why you want to do this or that? And some people's like we don't know. There's a lot of brands in the market. Others like you're gonna compete with multinational brands. Like why you want to do there? Like just take your money, enjoy your life. Don't invest. And clearly, those are not no longer my friends. But
Bye.
Bye. You see, and now like some of them they say congratulations. Like thank you. Okay.
Oh,
so
now congratulations. Oh, thank you.
But at the end, but on the other hand as well, there's a lot of people who support you. Some people they're very cautiously supportive, I would say, and some people they really put their heart and mind and soul to support, and they believe in your dream and they believe in your idea. My family were very supportive for me. Even though like my mom, she wasn't able to understand what I'm doing, and now I'm doing it because I was taking jars to her kitchen. I was like, Mom, taste, how about this? I was like,
Product tasting. We need
Product
feedback
tasting.
from somebody who used to be a mom, somebody who used to cook for kids.
So what do you think? And she was like, I don't know what you're doing, but
Looks good.
looks good. Continue. And other people like really, they were like really skeptical. And some people they saw in me what they are not able to achieve, because everyone has a dream and everyone wants to really create their own business or start their own business. So some people they saw themselves in me and they encouraged me to continue. So yes, it was not always rosy, I would say.
Yeah, we do trigger people, right? When we start to pursue our goals that are merging with our mission from the soul, as you say, because the dots are connected in a way that you wouldn't even put it better. We trigger people because people see, we reflect their fears, we reflect their lack of courage, and some of them can take those fears and say, yes, I recognize that I am not capable of doing that, but I do support you, which that is a big accomplishment for a person. And those who start to criticize and not believe is that they are not able to take that projection as an adult, wise and resilient person. So those are out of our lives for sure. So when you start, are you more like a solo entrepreneur where you go through all these processes by yourself, or you do seek for partnerships and collaborations? What is your position today?
Yeah. So when I started working on Hammam, I started purely by myself, everything. I wanted, and also I wanted to enjoy the journey of me creating something by my hands. So I was doing everything solo. I was literally doing all the steps solo, talking with people, connecting with people. Definitely, I asked friends, like they have some expertise to help me in, let's say, branding, packaging, naming, all of this. But I was doing everything throughout the journey by myself. Today, I'm definitely still, I know like I did good job. I want to make it great. And to make it great, you need definitely to have more partnerships and to seek expertise and to seek people who probably been in the industry more than I've been, and seek their advices. And now this is basically my next step is, okay, perfect. I launched it. I learned. What else? Who can support me? Who are the right people to connect with and to learn from their expertise, to mentor me throughout this journey and to continue as well. So now I'm seeking more partnerships. I'm seeking more advices and mentorship as well throughout the process. And also, I have a great team that support, and they were present from the very beginning. When I launched the product, they were there, and they're very passionate about what they do as well.
That's great. That's great to navigate with passion and with a good team. And when you are an entrepreneur, I mean, when you are a leader, you understand that you have some capabilities, but you are missing some others. So it's so wise to go and seek for partners and for advice or just services that to outsource, because we're just good at what we are. That's it. No
Yep.
need to push somewhere where you're just going to lose your energy and your time. So having this conversation with you, I realized that you are a very strong woman, you are a wise woman, you are resilient, you're emotionally intelligent, and you have accomplished so many things. My question probably as a coach would be, do you congratulate yourself for all your accomplishment, or there is still some little criticizing in your soul going around and not letting you sleep at nights? What's the status on that?
I think no one is harder on me versus me on me.
Oh no, don't tell me that.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I always get this from my friends, but like, stop being hard on yourself. Like, tap yourself on the shoulder, like. And I think this is something that, yeah, I don't do it quite often. And probably the first time I did it a couple of months back. And it wasn't for me because I got an award or I got a success or I achieved a milestones. It was a personal situation where it did not defy or change who I am. It did not defy or change my values, and it did not defy or change the way I see life, because the situation was really hard, and I was probably in a test where either I need to change the way I, treat people, or I need to stay truth to myself and to my heart and to the way I operate with. And it was probably the only time, because I was really challenged. And after I got this very hard lesson from people, I was like, okay, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be kind with people again. I don't want to do this. And when I looked at myself in the mirror, I was crying, of course. And I was like, you know what? I'm not happy saying this. I'm not happy to change who I am because of the experiences of others. I'm not happy because if people, hurt you, because they're bad, not because you're kind.
Yeah.
And if people don't see, like how you operate, because they are having problems in the way they see life and the way they see kindness and the way they see good support. So I'm not going to change because people are not seeing the good. Me being kind to myself and kind to the people around me and to the people I love, it what fuels me. And this is when I looked at the mirror, I was angry. I was like, no, I'm not going to change. I'm going to be careful about who I invite into my table, definitely. But I'm not going to change who I am. And I think this was the first time I looked at the mirror and I said, Nihal, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of, I'm proud of you because I didn't change who I am because of bad experiences of bad people that passed through my life. And it was probably the first time I said, I'm proud of you since I don't know when.
Yeah. Well, that's remarkable. It's a good start, because if, the people who come to our lives are our mirrors as well. So if we don't give credit to ourselves for our achievements, or just for who we are, then others won't see. And the fact that we go into the mirror, in front of the mirror, and we say, I am proud of you, I love you, I respect you, you do deserve the best because you are amazing, then that is what puts the filter of, I'm sorry, you're not coming onto this table, you're not worth this table. There's another tables.
Yeah,
To buy
exactly.
plenty of restaurants, right? Choose the one you like.
Choose anyone.
But we have dress control, mind control, soul control. We have all those controls.
Exactly.
Why? Because, you don't put that much effort into who you are to somebody who does not even value that, come and start to destroy. Not happening, right?
True.
So, last question for our conversation, also a key one. If your life was a book, what chapter you would be on, and how would you call that chapter?
I would definitely call it Wings and Roots.
Wow.
Wings because I'm still dreaming, I'm still building, I still have a lot to achieve, and I still want to fly and fly high as well. And roots because throughout all this journey, back to what we were discussing, I want to make sure that I'm still true to myself and grounded of who I am and whom I'm becoming. So I would call it Wings and Roots.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's I think that's the most creative name for the episode that we've heard in this podcast so far. Interesting. So Nihal, I'm so thankful to you that today you joined me in our conversation. I
Thank you.
truly appreciate the honesty, and I really believe that this story is inspiring, and we all have a lot to learn from you.
Thank you so much. From you too as well. It
Thank
was
you.
raw, real, and I hope I've answered all the questions. Sometimes emotions took me into another way, but you're a great conversational, so thank you.
Thank you so much. So, our dear listeners, this was the Untold Conversations, raw and real. If this episode resonated with you, please follow us, comment, and don't forget to like. I am Margarita Alex, your host, and see you in the next episode.